New York City, what a special place and a special court.
Sobrang di ko pa mapaniwala. Maraming
Sharapova's shocking secret gift to Alex has sparked an emotional explosion that changed everything. Welcome back to tennis, your ultimate destination for the most explosive, jaw-dropping stories in the world of the sport. If you thought the build-up to the 2026 Australian Open was just about routine practice sessions and predictable press conferences, think again, because what we're about to reveal will absolutely blow your mind. We are tracking a developing story that has sent shockwaves rippling through the tennis world, involving a Russian icon, a Filipino sensation, and a secret exchange so powerful it has left insiders speechless and competitors terrified. At the center of it all are Maria Sharapova and the explosive rise of Alexandra Eala, the pride of the Philippines, and currently the hottest young star on the WTA Tour. Just hours ago, reports began flooding in about an emotional behind-the-scenes encounter that has completely changed the game. Maria Sharapova, the five-time Grand Slam champion, former world number one, and one of the most intimidating competitors tennis has ever seen, has reportedly broken her public silence on Eala in the most dramatic and unexpected way imaginable. Sharapova didn't offer a polite compliment or a generic social media shout-out. Instead, she unleashed what insiders are calling an emotional explosion of praise unlike anything heard from the so-called ice queen of tennis in years. Sources with direct knowledge of the situation claim Sharapova declared, "Eala is the best young talent I've ever seen." Let that sink in for a moment. The woman who battled Serena Williams in legendary finals, conquered Wimbledon at just 17 years old, and completed a career Grand Slam sees something truly generational in Alex Eala. Sharapova reportedly praised Eala's flawless technique, extraordinary tactical vision, and steely determination qualities she says are incredibly rare in today's modern game. But things take an even wilder turn with a headline now spreading like wildfire through the locker rooms at Melbourne Park. Players, coaches, and fans are obsessing over reports of an incredibly meaningful, potentially priceless secret gift that Sharapova personally delivered to Eala during a private moment witnessed by only a select few. This was no generic racket endorsement or standard sponsorship package. This was something far more significant. Described by those close to the situation as deeply personal and profoundly symbolic, the mysterious gift represents a true torch-passing moment that could completely alter the trajectory of Eala's career. What lies inside that box? What private words Sharapova whispered to her chosen heir, and how this emotional rocket fuel will power Alex Eala as she approaches what may be the most important week of her life remain tantalizing questions. Stay locked in, because we're breaking down every angle of this extraordinary story, analyzing Eala's skyrocketing form, exploring her historic connection with Sharapova, and previewing the grudge match of the century set to unfold at the Kuang Classic. To understand why this moment is so seismic and why it matters profoundly to the future of women's tennis, we have to rewind and examine the history, the connection, and the sense of destiny now unfolding before our eyes. For years, Alex Eala has been remarkably vocal about her idol. While many of her peers grew up worshipping Roger Federer, Rafael Nadal, or Novak Djokovic, Eala modeled her entire game, mentality, and competitive DNA after the fierce, unapologetic intensity of Maria Sharapova, the grit, the famous grunt, the refusal to surrender a single point, and the icy stare that intimidated opponents before the first ball was even struck. That Sharapova DNA now appears reborn in the body and spirit of Alexandra Eala. For Sharapova to step out of the shadows on the eve of the 2026 Australian Open, precisely as Eala enters the tournament at a career-high ranking, is no coincidence at all. This is a coronation, a passing of the crown. The tennis world has been searching for its next global superstar, and Sharapova seems to have cast her decisive vote. The secret gift rumor, whispered throughout Melbourne, adds an almost mythological layer to Eala's Australian Open campaign, whether it's treasured memorabilia from Sharapova's 2008 triumph, a private journal of mental warfare strategies, championship jewelry, a historic racket, or something even more symbolic that embodies the very spirit of greatness being passed forward. Whatever this gift ultimately turns out to be, and speculation is absolutely running rampant, the timing could not be more perfect. Eala is not entering the Australian Open as just another player hoping for a respectable result. She arrives as a transformed competitor, a warrior armed with the personal blessing of a legend and fueled by the confidence that comes from knowing one of the greatest champions in tennis history believes in her completely. Imagine the psychological edge this provides as she steps onto the iconic blue hard courts of Melbourne Park, surrounded by roaring fans and carrying the weight of her nation's expectations. She is no longer playing solely for herself, or even just for her country. She is carrying the emotional force of Sharapova's belief on her shoulders. For a 20-year-old who has only recently cracked the top 50 and is still finding her footing at the highest level of the professional game, that kind of validation is pure rocket fuel, the sort of confidence that turns promising players into great ones and great ones into champions. And now it's clear why the tennis world is suddenly paying attention, why the hype surrounding Alex Eala has reached a fever pitch, and why everyone is rewinding the tape to see exactly what changed just last week. To truly understand the explosive nature of this story and why insiders believe we're witnessing the birth of something special, you have to look at the sheer carnage Alex Eala unleashed in Auckland, New Zealand. The 2026 ASB Classic was never meant to be life-changing. It was positioned as a simple warm-up, a tune-up before the real drama began in Melbourne, but Eala had other plans. She arrived with doubts swirling around her consistency, with critics questioning whether her game could withstand the relentless demands of week-to-week WTA competition. She left Auckland as the world number 49, her reputation completely transformed and the tennis world forced to admit that a new star had arrived. Her run to the semi-finals was nothing short of cinematic, the kind of breakthrough performance that reshapes careers and creates legends. It began with a brutal clash against battle-tested Croatian veteran Donna Vekic, a former Wimbledon semi-finalist known for her power, experience, and ability to thrive under pressure. On paper, Vekic was the clear favorite, but Eala flipped the script in spectacular fashion, delivering a performance that showcased her evolved defensive instincts, sharper footwork, and newly unleashed aggressive baseline power. She didn't just beat Vekic, she absolutely dismantled her. This wasn't a routine win to advance to the next round. It was a statement victory, a warning shot fired straight into the locker room announcing that Alex Eala is not here to make up the numbers. And she wasn't finished. In the quarterfinals, Eala faced another proven heavyweight in Magda Linette, a recent Australian Open semi-finalist who knows exactly how to win on hard courts. Critics suggested Eala might fade after the emotional high of her previous upset, that fatigue and mounting expectations would finally catch up with her. Instead, she delivered what many respected analysts are already calling the finest tennis of her career, dismantling Linette 6-3, 6-2 in a match that didn't even fully capture her dominance. Her forehand, her signature weapon, was firing like a cannon, blasting winners from every angle, while her movement evoked classic Sharapova, gliding into position and turning desperate defense into instant offense. Although her remarkable run ended in a heartbreaking 3-set semi-final loss to Wang Xinyu, a match in which she had real chances but ultimately fell just short, the message was unmistakable. The damage to the established order had already been done. Eala proved beyond any doubt that she belongs at the elite table, earning a massive 98 ranking points that propelled her into the world's top 50 for the first time in her career. In doing so, she became the highest-ranked Filipino tennis player in history, male or female. She now arrives at Melbourne Park not as a hopeful qualifier grinding through preliminary rounds, nor as someone simply grateful to be there, but as a dangerous direct entry no top seed wants to see land in their section of the draw. Yet the drama, tension, and sheer theater of this moment don't wait for the Australian Open to officially begin. Right now, the tennis world's attention is locked firmly on the Kuang Classic, the prestigious exhibition event that traditionally serves as the final tune-up before the Australian Open, an event renowned throughout the sport for its intensity and high-stakes matchups. The Kuang Classic is typically known for its relatively relaxed atmosphere, giving players a chance to fine-tune their games without the pressure of ranking points, but don't tell that to anyone involved in this matchup right now. In a twist that feels almost scripted by the tennis gods, Alex Eala is set to face Donna Vekic again on Tuesday, January 13th, just days after eliminating her at the ASB Classic. This is the very definition of an instant rematch, a grudge match loaded with emotional stakes. For Vekic, it's a golden opportunity for immediate revenge, a chance to reassert her authority and repair wounded pride before the Grand Slam begins, with fire in her belly and something very real to prove. For Eala, the challenge is entirely different, and perhaps even greater, a test of mental toughness and her ability to handle sudden success. Can she defeat an experienced, top-tier opponent twice in 2 weeks? Can she prove that Auckland wasn't a fluke or a lucky hot streak, but a true reflection of her current level and her readiness for the biggest stages in tennis? The Kuang Classic lineup this year is absolutely stacked with international stars, including Alexander Zverev, the controversial yet immensely talented German, the always entertaining Nick Kyrgios making his comeback, and the unpredictable showman Alexander Bublik. Yet despite all that star power, the Eala vs Vekic storyline is completely stealing the headlines and dominating the conversation. The tension when these two step onto the court will be palpable, thick enough to cut with a knife. Vekic will come out swinging from the opening point, desperate to shake the confidence of the young Filipina star and plant seeds of doubt before Melbourne. Eala, however, reportedly buoyed by Sharapova's mysterious gift and empowered by her private words of encouragement, enters the match with what insiders describe as a true championship aura, a confidence that cannot be manufactured. This clash at Kuang is the perfect litmus test for both players. If Eala dominates Vekic again and proves her earlier victory was no fluke but a genuine changing of the guard, the hype heading into the Australian Open will explode. Suddenly, she becomes a legitimate dark horse candidate for the second week of the Slam, a player capable of a deep run that could shock the tennis world. And speaking of the Australian Open, it's worth diving deeper into why this venue and this tournament hold such deep emotional meaning for Alex, especially after she recently referred to it, in a candid interview, as her home slam, a statement that raises intriguing questions about her unique connection to Melbourne. While the Philippines is obviously not Australia, and thousands of miles of ocean separate the two nations, the emotional and spiritual connection Alex Eala has developed with Melbourne over the years is profound and deeply meaningful. What makes it special for me is the energy, she told reporters, her face lighting up with genuine excitement. I feel like people have so much fun there. There's so much diversity, so many different cultures coming together. It's sort of my home slam. And I have a lot of really good memories there that I'll treasure forever. Those memories are far from vague or fleeting, they are painted in pure gold, permanently etched into tennis history. It was on these very courts in Melbourne back in 2020, when she was still a teenager chasing professional dreams, that Eala lifted the junior girls doubles trophy alongside her close friend and partner, Priscilla Negro. Sports psychology consistently shows that belief and confidence are critical to performance, especially under pressure, and athletes who feel they truly belong on the big stage and who have been validated by respected figures in their sport are far more likely to perform at their peak. Athletes who feel validated by respected figures in their sport consistently outperform expectations, and Alex Eala now carries that validation from one of the very best to ever play the game. A five-time Grand Slam champion has told her she has what it takes, and that belief is a powerful weapon as she steps into battle. As we count down the days to the Australian Open, waiting for the draw and the first matches, the storylines could not be more perfectly aligned for dramatic, compelling tennis. Established champions aim to add to their legacies, rising stars seek to break through, and seasoned veterans chase one last magical moment. Right in the middle of it all is Alex Eala, the 20-year-old Filipino sensation armed with Maria Sharapova's blessing and a mysterious secret gift, ready to prove she belongs among the elite. The stage is set, the players are ready, and the Australian Open promises something special with Alex positioned at the heart of one of the tournament's most compelling stories. Will she defeat Vekic again at Kuang and cement her status as the favorite? Will a favorable draw in Melbourne allow her to build momentum through the early rounds? Will Sharapova's guidance continue to pay dividends under the pressure of a Grand Slam? Could she become the first Filipino, male or female, to reach the second week of a Slam singles event? These questions are about to be answered, and the tennis world is watching with bated breath. This is why we love sports, why we follow these stories so obsessively, because sometimes, just sometimes, we get to witness history in real time, to say we were there when a star was born. And right now, all signs point to Alex Eala as that star, a young player from a nation without a tennis tradition, inspired by one of the greatest champions of all time, ready to capture our imagination and deliver unforgettable moments. Young player, inspired by some of the game's greatest champions and working tirelessly to perfect her craft, is finally stepping into her moment on the biggest stage, carrying the hopes of millions, armed with a mysterious gift and a champion's belief. It's the stuff of sports movies, but this is real life, unfolding right before our eyes. Whether you're a longtime tennis fan or someone who only tunes in during the Grand Slams, Alex Eala's story is one to follow. It has everything: inspiration, drama, mystery, pressure, national pride, and elite-level tennis played at the highest standard. The next 2 weeks in Melbourne promise to be unmissable, and Alex Eala is a central reason why. As the Australian Open approaches, here's where we stand. Eala is world number 49, the highest-ranked Filipino player in history. She arrives off a semi-final run in Auckland, where she defeated top-level opponents and proved she is ready for the WTA Tour. She has received public endorsement from Maria Sharapova, who reportedly called her the best young talent she's ever seen, and she carries a mysterious secret gift that has set the tennis world buzzing. Before the Slam even begins, she faces Donna Vekic in a grudge match at Kuang that will test her mental strength and ability to beat the same opponent twice in 2 weeks. Then she enters Melbourne Park, her self-described home slam, as a dangerous unseeded floater that no top player wants in their section of the draw. The pieces are all in place. The story is written. Now we just need to watch it play out on court. This is the start of something special. This is the Alex Eala era dawning before our eyes, and you're watching it happen right here, right now on Champions Tennis. Tennis fans, your passion and theories are what make this community special. What do you think is inside that secret box Maria Sharapova gave Alex Eala? Could it be a lucky charm she carried throughout her career, a heartfelt letter packed with advice and wisdom, a piece of championship memorabilia from one of her 5 Grand Slam victories, or something completely unexpected that none of us have even imagined? Drop your wildest, most creative theories in the comments. I'm reading every single one and can't wait to see what you think. If you're as hyped as we are for Alex Eala's Australian Open debut, smash that like button now. It helps the YouTube algorithm recommend this content to more tennis fans, grow the channel, and allow us to keep delivering in-depth, fully researched updates on all the biggest tennis stories. And if you haven't already joined the Champions Tennis family, hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you never miss a moment. We'll be covering every single match of Alex Eala's Australian Open campaign, analyzing points, breaking down tactics, reacting instantly to news and rumors from Melbourne Park, tracking the draw ceremony on January 15th, previewing her Kuang Classic match against Vekic, and reporting any updates on Sharapova's mysterious gift. You absolutely don't want to miss the next update on this developing story. This has been Champions Tennis, your home for the most explosive, thoroughly researched, and passionately delivered tennis content on YouTube. Over the last hour, we've explored the Alex Eala phenomenon, delved into her Sharapova connection, analyzed the stakes, and built the hype for what promises to be an unforgettable Australian Open. The stage is set, the players are ready, history is waiting to be written, and we'll be here to bring you every incredible moment. Until next time, keep supporting Alex, keep believing in the power of dreams and hard work, and keep watching.